Hey there, how's it going? It's Myth Luke here, my name is Luke, and today I really want to celebrate Neurodiversity Week. I want to do this by talking about some more issues I've had with food places, whether that be pubs, cafes, restaurants, things like that. I know I've covered it on the channel before, but I've had some more experiences and I want to share them. This time I'm talking more specifically about eating out in restaurants, where there's a menu, or multiple menus should I say. The main challenge for me is reading a menu to order my food and drinks on time pressure, as well as navigating the environment. Let's get into this in more detail. In order to order food and drinks, you need to be able to read a menu or menus. Sometimes they have multiple different types of menus all on the same table. Food menu, specials menu, drinks menu, cocktails menu, and then there might be some other special menu that's not even on your table. They might be at the counter, they might be on the wall. Maybe there's some deals. And you know, some of these menus are 8 to 10 pages long with different sections. So much information to process. There's reading the menu, but then there's reading the room. Now what do I mean by that? It's all these questions that need answering before you even sit down. Are we having starters? Are we skipping to mains? Are we having desserts? And what kind of drinks are we looking at here? Soft drinks, alcoholic drinks, hot drinks? And sometimes we are really looking at that price. And how much time do we have for this meal? There are a lot of questions. And can I just emphasize again, dyspraxic brain, 0.01 processing speed. And I need to somehow sit down and not only read but understand the menu all within the space of about 30 seconds. I'll give you an example. When I called up with some old school friends of mine in central London, I've even made a video about this on my channel. Only a few people, ordered starters. So I thought, okay, I'm going to read the room here. People are ordering starters. I'm also going to order starters. So I ended up ordering starters that I didn't even need. Bit of a waste of money in the end. And in the meantime, everyone else had to wait while we ate our starters. And I'm a little bit of a slow eater. So I kind of felt a bit time pressure to eat fast. As fast as I can at least anyways. I think I've read the room. I think I know what food I might even want. Then the waiter comes up and says, "What drinks would you like?" And at this point, I don't even know where the drinks menu is because I went straight to food. And the people I'm with seem to magically already know what they want to drink. So, do I go with a safe drink that I already know, let's say lemonade, or do I just tell them to come back to me? But let's say you're there for a treat. You might not want something you've had 1,000 times before like lemonade, you might want something more like a cocktail or a mocktail, or even a smoothie. Because I don't always just want to have lemonade, and yes, I do like a treat when I'm having a treaty meal. So I either sent the waiter away or the waiter is standing there waiting for me and someone has to go through the list, not only telling me where things are but also explaining to me what the options are. This takes time. Now I would say you should always choose what drink you'd like to have first, but then there are some times where they actually want to know what food you like to have first, and then the drinks are the last thing you'll have to order. What are the rules here? Honestly, I don't know. Talking of people having to explain things to you, what if you just don't understand the words on the menu that are describing what the drinks are or what the food is? What if it's all in French or Italian, or if they're just words you don't know? So you end up having to get advice from whom you're sitting with. That might take a bit of discussion. You also don't want to order the most expensive thing on the menu as well. That's a lot for me to figure out. And by the way, when that food comes, I'm a slow eater. It takes me a while to eat it. I'm going to give you some examples. I just came back from Finland with my family. I absolutely loved it there. I'm going to post some videos about that soon because it was just such a great trip. And there was a lot of on-the-spot ordering for me, is what I'm going to call it. I'm put on the spot having to choose what I'm going to order. Right there, right now. Do you want me to tell you how that went a couple of times? So I was in the Arctic Circle visiting Santa's village. We went to this nice restaurant where this hotel is, and I was looking at the drinks. A lot of the food and drinks had Christmassy names because we were in Santa's village. So I was looking through the menu. The waiter came up, wanting to know what drinks we wanted. Still looking through the menu. I fancied a cocktail, so I was looking at the cocktail section. And the last thing I saw on the menu at that point was something to do with syrup, and it had the Santa in the cocktail name. So I just read it out. I like the Santa's Old Fashioned, please. Little did I know it was the hardest booze they had to offer. Drunk me. At another place, I ended up ordering at speed something called a spicy margarita. That was gross. It was a cocktail. Gross cocktail. Sometimes you got to ask the staff for clarification. You also got to understand the information they're giving you. And you then got to filter out all the surrounding noise in a noisy environment. Good luck joining in on your social gathering even though you're exhausted within the first 5 minutes of sitting down. But this video isn't about socializing, this video is about the difficulties of ordering at eating places. And then sometimes you still order the wrong food. Example incoming. I was at another restaurant in Helsinki. We had planned this one ahead of time, and I remember my parents telling me about something called a herring. Now, this isn't a, like you don't pronounce it as herring, you don't pronounce it as herring, you pronounce it as herring. I was put on the spot to make my food decision. I had to order food right there and then because the waiter came along, and I remembered this word, oh yes, herring. So I'd said that I'd like the herring, please. What I didn't know is that I was meant to order the herring stew. I didn't know there were different types of herring dishes, but there were, and because I only said herring, the herring came, it was these fishes, and they were full of bones. And another thing you should know about dyspraxia in general, especially if it's severe dyspraxia, it affects you physically as well. I have absolutely no fine motor skills in my hands whatsoever. So there I was in a fancy restaurant in Helsinki, and my dad was having to cut up well, actually not cut up the fish for me, but he was having to get rid of all the little bones in the fish because I just couldn't do that sort of thing. It's impossible for me. We even ended up sharing food. I'm going to give a shout out to coffee shops here, or in this case the Finnish coffee shops, because they are fabulous. I have made a video or two before where I've expressed some of the difficulties I've had with coffee shops, but overall they provide an environment that, for people like me, they are much easier to navigate. You can see the products right in front of you, the cakes, the sandwiches, the types of food they have to offer, and hopefully they put the prices right next to them. Because there's someone at the counter, you can usually ask them questions. Again, I'm not saying they're perfect, and I have made a video about them, but visually, for me to process the information more easily at least, they are better. And really, this is just an excuse to show a clip of a coffee shop in Finland. Look at them doggies. Aww. And to finish off this video, the other day, I was in a restaurant. I waited outside the toilet for 10 minutes. I don't know what the guy inside was doing there, but I should have read the room better. I don't think I'll be making that mistake again. And by the way, that restaurant was good because they did actually have pictures, menu options, prices, all outside. So I already knew what I was going to eat by the time I walked in. Thank you so much for watching. It's me, Luke here. My name is Luke, and I'll be back with more videos coming soon. Goodbye, everyone.